went to catch myself and I barely missed the step and then kind of jammed my hand in there and hit my face.
After Carrie Underwood supposedly injured her face near the end of 2017, she pretty much went into hiding for months. But when Carrie reemerged, there were rumors and suspicions. And the dark truth about Carrie's accident will leave you speechless. Carrie made a shocking confession after her so-called accident in November 2017. She called her facial injury gruesome, and Carrie warned that she was going to look very different when she appeared in public again. Carrie basically spent the first several months of 2018 behind the walls of her mansion in Tennessee. She later admitted in a Red Book cover story why. Carrie said, anytime someone gets injured, it looks pretty bad in the beginning, and you're like, what is this going to wind up like? You just don't know. She had just come off a career high when she claims that she tripped on the steps outside her home. Carrie had hosted the CMA Awards only days before. The tumble apparently landed Carrie in the hospital with multiple injuries. But what was most shocking about Carrie's accident is why it happened in the first place. Carrie would later tell Hoda Kotb on the Today Show, plain and simple, it was just kind of a freak accident. I just tripped taking my dogs out to do their business. Carrie said that she broke her wrist and suffered various cuts and abrasions. But apparently the most obvious injury that Carrie suffered was a huge cut on her lip. Her facial injury was supposedly so serious she required between 40 to 50 stitches in the hospital. Although Carrie had been reluctant to share the news about her facial injuries with the public, she ended up breaking the news in a post to her fan club members. Carrie wrote, "There's also another part of the story that I haven't been ready to talk about since I have still been living it and there has been so much uncertainty as to how things will end up." Carrie then explained it more. She wrote, "In addition to breaking my wrist, I somehow managed to injure my face as well." Carrie shockingly revealed that she had to go into surgery after her fall, and the surgeon told her husband Mike Fisher about how many stitches Carrie had to get on her face. Carrie ended up canceling her performance schedule for months, and she stayed behind closed doors. Although there was some evidence that Carrie was still out and about in Nashville. A shocking photo got uploaded by Adrienne Gang in December 2017. If you're unfamiliar with Adrienne, she was a cast member on the reality show Below Deck. Apparently, Adrienne ran into Carrie at a fitness club in Nashville. Adrienne snapped a selfie with Carrie and tweeted it out. She captioned her photo with Carrie, "Just worked out next to @Carrie Underwood. She is adorable and so gracious. Love her." While Carrie looked shy and did not show her teeth, she gave a smile to the camera, and you could not see any facial injuries. Nearly 2 months after the accident apparently happened, Carrie reported that she was on the mend. But she also confessed something unbelievable. Carrie said that she was not quite looking the same. All these shocking details made everyone even more curious about Carrie's accident. She would occasionally show us glimpses. One picture that Carrie uploaded to her Instagram got over 313,000 likes. But if you were looking for proof of Carrie's apparent facial injuries, well, you couldn't really see any in the photo. Carrie's face was totally bundled up in a scarf from her own collection. All you could see was her heavily made up eyes. In the same message from 2 months after her accident, Carrie wrote, "I honestly don't know how things are going to end up, but I do know this. I'm grateful that it wasn't much, much worse." Carrie also wrote that she was determined to make the new year amazing, and she seemed to tease her followers a little bit by saying, "I want to share things with you along the way." Then Carrie dropped that bombshell again that sounded familiar. She wrote, "And when I am ready to get in front of a camera, I want you to all understand why I might look a bit different." It seemed like a lot of build-up. And we were all waiting eagerly for Carrie to make her first public appearance on a stage. When the announcement was made that Carrie would perform at the 53rd Annual Academy of Country Music Awards in April 2018, we all prepared ourselves for a shock. Carrie did something crazy the night before the ACMs. At nearly 10 p.m., she tweeted a photo of herself after rehearsals for the big award show. And that's when the trouble started. Carrie appeared in full makeup with her blonde hair flowing and a little bit of a smile. She included a caption about having a great rehearsal, and she said that she couldn't wait for tomorrow night. Carrie performed her newest single during the ACMs on February 15th. The song was called Cry Pretty, and Carrie got very emotional during her performance. Some kind-hearted fans tweeted back at Carrie about how phenomenal her song was. But not everyone was buying it. Carrie got some catty responses on Twitter after her big comeback on stage. Some followers commented that she looked so hideous. They were being sarcastic. The obvious truth was Carrie looked as gorgeous as ever, and her face looked the same. You won't believe the criticism that got heaped on Carrie. She was being called overdramatic and vain. Shockingly, there was a lot of disappointment that Carrie didn't look worse. And the general feeling was, why had Carrie created such a fuss? While the positive and negative comments racked up on Twitter, Carrie appeared yet again on the ACM stage. She won the Vocal Event of the Year award for her duet with Keith Urban. And Carrie seemed to be extremely overwhelmed. She confessed to the live audience and the cameras that she was still kind of shaky right now. Carrie said through her tears, "Thank you guys. Thank you, country radio, the fans. Oh my gosh, thank you." But Carrie might have been too quick in thanking everyone, because the crazy rumors soon began circulating online. One shocking rumor was that Carrie's so-called accident was just all a publicity stunt, but that was nothing compared to the most vicious rumor, which was that Carrie disappeared because she was healing from plastic surgery. The gossip got so bad that Carrie was forced to discuss it in August 2018. She appeared on the cover of Red Book magazine for September 2018, and Carrie admitted something unbelievable in the cover story. She said that she was on some magazine every other week for something crazy. For Carrie, that was a little sad. Her reason for saying that is shocking, because Carrie thought the real truth about her bad fall was just as interesting. Although Carrie made a confession, she said that she wished she'd gotten some awesome plastic surgery, but not for the reason you might think. For Carrie, the plastic surgery would make the scar on her face look better. Although Carrie said she tried not to worry about it too much, she did confess that the accident shook her confidence. Carrie told Red Book that her accident had taught her life lessons. She said, "Honestly, you just do the best you can. Don't worry about things you can't change." So does that mean that Carrie didn't get plastic surgery? The question continued to haunt Carrie, and this led to wild conspiracy theories, including one that she never fell in the first place. But if Carrie didn't have an accident, where did that x-ray of her wrist injury come from in January 2018? Carrie even described her accident in specific detail on social media. She confessed that she had been clumsy and she tripped down the stairs. Carrie said she was holding onto her dog's leash in her left hand, and while she tried to catch herself with her right hand, she took a hard tumble and missed the bottom step. Carrie said that it felt like she had busted her lip. She didn't realize how badly she hurt herself until she looked into the mirror. If Carrie wasn't already in shock from the fall, seeing her facial injury was apparently unbelievable. There is one close-up photo that Carrie shared on Instagram in 2018. It's the only real proof of scarring on her upper lip. But if Carrie was posting this to quiet all the doubters, I'm not sure it worked. You could only really see a little bit of a scar, but it was hardly noticeable. Then again, maybe it doesn't matter. Carrie looks as beautiful as ever, and no one should ever complain about that. But what do you guys think? Are you convinced that Carrie did suffer a bad fall? Do you think she overreacted about her injury? Do you believe the rumors and conspiracy theories instead?